The following video contains partial nudity, sexual themes and overtones, vulgar and adult language, disturbing imagery, and just about anything you can deem as inappropriate. It is highly unsuitable for anyone under the age of 18, and viewer discretion is advised for all ages. You have been warned.
Since this is a mandatory age scene, I'm not going to skip it, but luckily, future Sean will substitute in something brilliant! Of course, there's also voice acting for this scene, so I don't want to not use it, so future Sean, powers activate!
You know what's even more delicious? Cookies! Alice and I suddenly appear in the kitchen in front of ingredients and material. I'll decorate them. You shape the dough.
何を言う？これは特訓だ。貴様は快楽攻撃に弱いのだろ？快楽に耐える術を知らねば、貴様の冒険はいずれ無残な結末を迎えるぞ。それでもいいのか？
But you could get salmonella!
ならば特訓だ。世が与える刺激に耐えるがいい。
Okay, do your best. I'm glad I was able to dissuade her, though I'm sure she'll get some special sauce somewhere off screen.
ほら。
Alice quickly pulls over the dough and examines it.
こんなに大きくしてしまって。口では拒んでいながら情けないやつだな。溜まっておるのだろう。特別に世が処理をしてやるぞ。
What does that mean? I can't help but wonder how differently things could have gone if I let her get her way.
ぐだぐだ言うな。一石二鳥。いや、三鳥か。特訓になって性処理もできて、世の腹も膨れるのだ。
It'll be fine. No one will get the wrong idea.
もう、うるさいやつだ。貴様を射精させるのに、世の膣穴など使うこともない。
Alice tightly wraps the dough in her warm hand. You don't have to do it like that.
握られただけで、肉棒がヒクヒクしているぞ。
Alice starts to knead it very softly. Even with such a soft stimulation, she's shaping the dough oddly.
さて、どうしてくれよう。このまま手で絞り出すとしようか。
Alice starts to move her hand around, gently loosening the dough, but she's also using her thumb and index finger to catch any knots in the dough. With her slow motion movement, she's not really using it as one should. Alice, that's not how you...
世の手技にどれだけ耐えられるのかな。その様子では長持ちはするまい。
Staring at the dough, Alice shapes small pieces and puts them on a sheet. They're shaped strangely. Alice, good job.
貴様は相当にここが弱いようだな。これ式でそんな声を上げてしまうとは。
Alice continues with her oddly shaped cookies as I drop sprinkles on mine. I reach for the frosting dispenser to frost them. Okay, I'm going to apply the frosting. Noticing this, Alice stops kneading for a moment and comes over to my side. She stares intently at the dispenser I'm holding.
しかと思い知るがよい。貴様は世の手で小種を放出させられてしまうのだ。情けないオスよな。
I barely have time to prep it before Alice snatches it away from me, but she's not holding it right. If she were to squeeze it in incorrectly, it wouldn't turn out well. Maybe you should go back to the dough.
世に男性器を揉まれ果てることができるとはなんとも幸せだな。さあ手の中で屈服の液体を漏らしてしまうがいい。
Alice ignores my pleas and focuses on my sheet. She aims the dispenser directly at the cookies I so carefully sprinkled, but her grasp is already quite tight. If she were to squeeze now, it certainly would be a disaster. I quickly try to snatch it out of her hands. The frosting explodes all over Alice's hands and the cookies. What a mess.
手の刺激でこんなに小種を漏らしてしまうとはな。魔物に精液を絞られてはいけないのではなかったか。節操のないみっともない男だ。
Alice inspects the frosting all over the place and frowns. I tried to tell you. As she observes the mess, her attention turns to her hands, still messy.
貴様の小種で手がドロドロだぞ。
Alice noisily licks the frosting off her hands. The scene in front of me is just plain wrong out of context. In fact, she's probably just over-exaggerating, unless she enjoys the sweet taste that much. And before I noticed, she licked everything up.
奇妙な味だな。確かにうまいのだが、どこか不思議な風味がある。なかなか癖になってしまう味よ。
She makes her way back to her station and stares at the dough unhappily.
しかし、まさか3分も持たんとはな。いかに世の手技が心地よかったとはいえ、情けないものだ。もう少し鍛える必要がありそうだな。
Faster? Alice reaches for the dough again and her fingers somehow wrap around it. Sprouting from her wrist, it's as if her fingers became tentacles. Kinky.
そう怯えるな。これもなかなか絶品だぞ。
If you say so. Her tentacles, lightly covered in mucus, are shaping the dough. The mucus makes it sticky, though. I think I'll pass on eating those.
男性器に触手が這い回る快感。しかと味わうがいい。
Probably? It looks kinda gross. I say that, but the scene intrigues me. The slimy tentacles are filling the sheet faster than when she did it by hand. Yeah, you just do that.
格別の快感だろ。
The tentacles firmly wrap around the dough and squeeze it softly. I can't help but wonder what else she uses those for.
このままいたぶってやるとしようか。ほらほらほら。
The tentacles start to individually vibrate, shaping the dough even more strangely. I feel like I know what she uses those for now. I need to focus on my own task. Trying to focus on my own job, I start decorating again. I can't help but watch Alice out of the corner of my eye.
なんだ、もう切羽詰まってきたのか。貴様の情けなさも相当なものだな。仕方がない。もう一度果ててしまうがいい。
She knew I was watching the whole time? Incredible. I quickly squeezed the dispenser out of shock. Ah! Frosting shoots out over the cookies I'm decorating.
二度目だというのに、こんなにいっぱい。
I spread the frosting around to make it look like that was my intention. I meant to do that.
ほら、ほら、ほら。脆弱な先端をじっくりと鍛えてやろう。
Shut up. As Alice continues to shape the dough, I notice smoke coming from her direction. Alice? Why is there smoke coming out of the oven?
惨めではないのか。女の前で そんなにみっともない姿を晒して。
Obvious lie. She clearly let some of those cookies burn. What's she gonna say next? The Aurora Borealis is in the next room over? I guess I'll have to monitor the oven after this. This is a train wreck.
今度はのたうち回りながら漏らす気か。貴様の地帯もここに極まったな。さあ、小種をまき散らすがいい。
I angrily pick up the dispenser and aim it at the sheet. I don't even care anymore. I squeeze it hard so I can just be done with it. Stupid! Frosting explodes all over the cookies again, making a mess of the kitchen. I turn off the oven, then storm back to any place that's not here.
なんと、もうダウンか。この程度で気を失うなど貧弱すぎるな。今日はこれで勘弁してやるが、もっと鍛えてやらねばならん。一度根こそぎ絞り取ってやるとしようか。
I'm going to bed. Alice laughs as I leave the kitchen. Traveling with such a person is going to be rough.
Sounded like you had fun last night. Ah!
貴様はではお気に入りの胸で楽しませてやるとしようか。
Alice, okay, and time for a word from our sponsors. You're watching Sabaza Spotlight, where we highlight all of the must-see points of Sabaza Castle. Today's topic, Zuri Pies. While you tour the world-famous Sabaza Commercial District, you may notice some enormous round fruits for sale in market. Chances are, what you're looking at are Zuri melons, the key ingredients in Zuri Pies, a timeless Sabaza treat. The process of making them boils down to 5 key steps. First, get a pair of nice round Zuri melons. They're in best condition if they're still soft, squishy, and bouncy. Next, take a cylindrical food item of your choice and sandwich it between the melons. Make sure that you leave the tip poking out from in between them. Next, moisten up the melons with butter and then use the melons to soften up the food cylinder. Up and down, side to side, squish together. Make sure you work it really hard. After that, use the melons to smash the food cylinder between them. Make sure it gets completely broken. And lastly, the final step, make it into a pie. Yeah, we really didn't research the process very hard. Sabaza Spotlight, Safina's finest tourist program. Thus, the next morning comes. Man, that was a good session of sleeping. Yes, sleeping. This scene coming up, it's the closest thing to a normal human relationship you will find in this game. Okay. So, wait! And I think it's time for a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Sabaza Spotlight, Sabaza Castle's prime television spot for tourism. Today's topic, Princess Sarah. At the center of every kingdom, there's a royal treasure or crown jewel that defines the royal family. And if you aren't thinking of the king's glorious abs, the next object would probably be our beloved Princess Sarah. Princess Sarah is adored by the kingdom's inhabitants, and is often said to be the most beautiful and delicate flower of all of Safina. If you're lucky, you may get the chance to have a personal audience with her, and maybe even spend some quality time with her. However, Princess Sarah is more than just a pretty face. She is a noble woman dedicated to serving her kingdom through physical as well as political means. One of her many talents is with swordplay, and she is said to treat her weapons with the same utmost respect she does her people. After a practice session, Sarah can often be found gently licking the blade of her sword with the careful dexterity of a noble warrior. She carefully services her blade by sucking on the tip and cautiously cleaning it off with her tongue. Some say she does this as practice for future duties, but actually she just likes to clean off the juices of the Zuri melons that she cuts for practice. At least that's what we hope she does. Sabaza Spotlight, Safina's finest tourist program. What did I just do with a princess? Ah! Alice's winding tail wraps around my body, stealing my movements, and I believe it's about time for Future Sean to cut in here! Future Sean, take it away! Explore the natural world of Centaura in the Monster Menagerie. Grand Noah is famous for being a territory where humans and monsters live together in harmony, but behind the paradise exists a slightly dangerous truth. Many monsters still take advantage of humans for their own needs, and that is true even here. One of the more common monster types found in the area are plant types, so it's wise to understand how they work. As with normal plants, most monster plants can survive solely on water, sunlight, and soil. However, they prefer to use human males as partners to absorb nutrients and reproduce. There are many variants of plant monsters, some which use humans differently, even meat-eating types that consume them. But the most general form of attacking humans among plant monsters is with the use of fluid-sucking flowers. These flowers use their petals to wrap around and suck out fluids from erogenous areas on the human body. They secrete a nectar that makes the interior wet and sticky to make the extraction of fluids more efficient. It can become a dangerous situation for any human caught in this deadly flower. As an example, the following audio was recorded from someone being attacked by such a flower.
Alice! Stop! For the love of Ilias, Alice, stop! Why did you do that now?
Let this be enough of a warning to be aware of monster plants, lest you end up like this poor soul. See you next time when you step into the Monster Menagerie. Usually when save locations are in a spot like this, that usually means we're about to have a word from our sponsors.
まあ、人形の奉仕を断ったのは褒めてやろう。その褒美として世がこの口で快楽。
And it's time for a word from our sponsors!
Mon! 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 Mon, 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 pop!
It's the candy creation that's sweeping the nation. It's Mon Mon Pop! Popular among human, women, and monster alike, it's the candy that serves as an ideal substitute for when men are scarce in your life. Look away until you get to the juicy core and let it explode! Available in a plethora of different flavors, as well as several different shape varieties. Find them at your local tool shop in any city for a fun, flavorful experience. Product only meant for oral consumption. Use in other orifices at your own risk. The next morning...
世が快楽の世界に導いてやる。
We can't... Ah! Okay, that's time for a word from our sponsors. Come to Hell Gondo. You fucking die! As much as I would be okay with showing this, and no, I wouldn't be okay with showing this, but you know what?
Hello, old chum. I'm not a elf. I'm not a goblin. I'm a gnome, and you've been gnomed.
Have you finished, idiot? Yep, all done. Oh man, you guys should have seen that. That was something else. The moment you guys have long been waiting for. It's finally time to claim the best girl, Sylph!
Hi, every peoples! It's me, Sylph! Why do you look so upset? You are wanting to see me, right? Because this section is all about me! Anyway, I'm Sylph, the spirit of the wind. I usually live in the forest of spirits, where I pass my time by singing songs and playing with the other inhabitants of the forest. I don't leave my domain unless it's for something important, like traveling with someone worthy of using my power, or if I need to go find someone to help me replenish my— Hey! Get off the screen! No naughty content is allowed in this segment! That's inappropriate! Because of all the recent traveling I've been doing with Luka, I've had to go to lots of environments I'm not used to. If I'm not careful, I'll lose my energy, making me change from my small form to a curvy adult body. This might seem like an upgrade, but then I lose my powers and my ability to fly with the wind, which I hate! So I've had to take great strides to keep myself safe, like for when it gets cold, when I wear this awesome jacket. I don't have much bodily mobility, but why would that be important if you can fly? Oh! I almost forgot one of my favorite things to talk about, my friends! Of course, we all know enough about Luka and how much I like being with him, but I don't often get to see the other spirits, which is a real treat for me. It's great fun to be with them, especially when I'm with Nomi! She and I are best friends, and we make an unbeatable combo together. That's right, with me and Nomi's power and friendship, we are invincible! That just about wraps up my personal little spotlight here. But I have one more piece of advice. If life weighs you down with problems, don't worry. Just chee-ba-pa, until your problems are solved. And if you don't understand that, then go fuck yourself. Bye-bye.
I failed to show you guys 2 of these so far, but luckily, not even a commercial will be able to stop me from showing you guys. Okay, you know it's coming.
Hey! Yes?
You look like a real jerk.
Well, I am the leader of the Seekers of Truth. It's my job to prevent the player from having fun by stopping them from using the Force Spirit.
Shut up! So what you doing?
Well, I was about to meticulously repair one of my neck stalls that was damaged by the most powerful neurotoxin in the world.
Oh no you ain't! You're going to Salamander's Infernal Grill! At Salamander's Infernal Grill, all the food is grilled to your preference by Chef Salamander's Flames. The scorched sustenance comes from a variety of different sources, so there will be something for even the pickiest of your little brats. And if you're in for a challenge, you can try your stomach at the restaurant's deadliest item, Quadruple Giga! This behemoth of a burger is packed full of meat from 4 whole cows! If you manage to eat the whole thing in one sitting, we'll cover your medical bill from the trip to the hospital you'll get from the ensuing heart attack. Salamander's Infernal Grill! Hell never tasted so good!
Giving humans fire was a mistake.
Okay, I've done it to you 3 guys. I've done it to you guys 3 times now. So it would be a dick move for me to do it a 4th time. So, without any further ado, here is your classic uninterrupted time with Yundine.
What are you watching, Pipsqueak? And who is this tub of snot supposed to be? Why is her name so similar to mine? We're completely different, runt! Do I look like I have big, googly anime eyes to you? Besides, she doesn't even have legs! How can she get around at all? That aside, don't you have anything better to do besides watch videos filled with animated boobs? I swear all you nerds are the same. I'll never understand why people like this stuff. Seriously, what kind of toxic mushroom do you have to smoke to come up with this anime stuff? I'll tell you, mushrooms that are so toxic that they make the Undertale fandom look tolerable. Well, I've had just about enough of this. I'll see you the next time you decide to struggle as my boss fights terrible mechanics!
Wow, I'm surprised at how gentle that was. It sure would be nice if sure is nice that I know that every Yundine out there is very gentle and peace-loving. Well, there's only one last rape scene in the game for us to see. So I've got to make it special. I've heard there was a secret sword the hero used on the monster lord, but you don't care for making children, do ya? It goes like this: the coil, the catch, the manhood rod, and the lady hatch, and then in there we were making hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. To show your love you needed proof. She seemed real crude and quite aloof, but her beauty and her passion were what drew ya. She wound you up in her snaky tail, your arms and legs you could not flail, and from your meat she drew the Hallelujah. 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 But baby, we've been here before. You've had your way 8 times or more. You know how to make me shoot it into ya. And no matter how much stuff you eat, our love is not a tasty treat. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Well, there were times you'd let me know how I was just a fake hero. But if you didn't care, then really, what's it to ya? But remember when I thrust into you, I'd scream until my face turned blue, and every moan we made was hallelujah. 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 There's no longer a goddess above. We finish her off with the power of love, so all could coexist like me and you, yeah. Our love isn't something you keep out of sight, not something you earn from the battles we fight. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.